It's raining outside, and I thought it would be a great time for me to go ahead and update one of my favorite projects that has been ongoing for a few years now, but it's not until this year that I actually started documenting and writing it down. And it's been a great process so far. And so what I want to do today is just actually go ahead and update some of these things to kind of get the ball rolling. I started it in December, and I kind of want to go ahead and update it. And and I wanted to show you the process. So yeah, let's talk about it. Hi friends, it's Mari from Mari Harai Archives, and today I am going to talk to you about my tried recipe book. Now, what is a tried recipe book? Well, let me explain. So, a tried recipe book is basically a book that I created for myself to kind of document and write down all the recipes that I found online or anywhere in a recipe book or whatnot. And I wanted a way to kind of document it and take accountability for it, and to kind of have a another step in the process of me sharpening my cooking skills for my family and for myself. Um, Now, I am a person who didn't know how to cook, shamefully. Uh, it's not that, no, it is. It's for lack of trying. I was never really interested in cooking, especially when I was younger. I remember growing up, my mom and my dad would cook, and they would try to teach me, and they would say, "Come, just watch me do this." And I'm like, I don't want to watch you cook. So I guess it's not my form of, I guess, wanting to. I wasn't interested. I wasn't interested in learning how to cook. And so I told myself when I was younger, I said, if I'm going to get married, I'm going to make sure that the person I got married to knows how to cook. And thankfully, my husband, I mean, it wasn't like a criteria, but it just so happened that my husband does know how to cook. And so that worked out. He was able to keep me alive uh, for many years. And but it wasn't until my youngest was born back in 2011 when I started having a desire to learn how to cook. Now, I had a very demanding job ever since I was a teenager. My career was really demanding, so a lot of the times, a lot of the domestic chores and such, like cooking, fell on my husband. And so I'm so lucky that he picked that up while I couldn't do it. And so I didn't have like the time nor desire to kind of learn. And it didn't come until my youngest was born. And I decided, okay, you know what? Let me start trying. And so that was back in 2011 is my journey of learning how to cook. So it's been a minute since I've tried, and trust me, it was a long journey, and I'm still learning and I'm still growing, and getting more confident in the kitchen. And so there's, I mean, the ways that I've done it, my process was just finding cookbooks, going from there, and then, yeah, cooking. And so I never had a way to kind of document it. And it wasn't until I started journaling and all this stuff where I was like, ooh, I think I want to start doing that. And so what I've done, and I know probably as much as many of you guys might have this, but I know like when I'm scrolling online and I see a recipe that I find, I either screenshot it or save it. And so like my phone is a walking cookbook. I have in my note section a folder, like many folders that I've organized by types. And that's a whole nother process in itself. And that was my attempt to organize all the screenshots, all the recipes that I found into a searchable way on my phone. And so everything is in categorized folders, and it's nice. So anytime I cook, that is where I look as far as, finding the recipes. And I wanted to start actually taking these recipes that my kids love, that my family loves. So it's not stuck on my phone, that it's in a book. And so that's another project that I've been doing. And so it's kind of like the pipeline of, this is probably like the second to last step before it gets to the heirloom family recipe book. And so it starts out with, finding the recipe, saving it on my phone, cooking the rest, making the recipe, and then putting it in here. Now, this one is the tried recipe. So the purpose of this is because I had so many recipes that I want to try, but I never tried it. It was mostly like every once in a while, but it was never like an effort for me to like, okay, let's try this. So I've incorporated in our menu planning that we want to try to incorporate a new recipe at least once a month. And the reason why I did that is, one, to introduce a new, obviously, recipe to I guess, in our repertoire of recipes that we like to rotate in our menu planning, and two, try new things, and then three is to help sharpen my skills in the kitchen. And so this is a way for me to document that. All right, so now we've got the backstory. I wanted to update a few things because we've had 3 full months in 2025, and so we do have 3 brand new recipes that we tried. Well, once a month. We had new recipe in January, February, March. I didn't update this. The last thing that I updated was back in November, December, with the new recipes that we tried, which usually is a lot because usually during the holiday season is when I'm also experimenting a lot more than usual, and so those recipes are in here already. Now, to kind of get you familiar with my system, is that in my each month when I menu plan, in my daily journal, this is my Hobonichi weeks. In the monthly section, I like to document what our dinner plan, or what our not our plans, but what we actually ate, because that's another system all together. We menu plan, but it doesn't necessarily mean that is what we're going to eat, because things change. So this is a true what we ate for dinner. And so what I like to do is I put that on there. And anytime that we do try a new recipe, I actually put an asterisk on it. And like this right here, in January, we had one. So this was a new recipe. In February, we had a new recipe. And that was, where is it? Now, I told myself that from now on, I'm going to start jotting down the new recipe in a different colored pen, because usually I do an asterisk, and for whatever reason, my eyes don't like that and I cannot find it. But anyways, right here. See, I didn't even put an asterisk. That's probably why I couldn't find it. Or a star or something that helps me, because it's starting to blend in. Anyways, so we had another new recipe. It was like beef enchiladas. And then I think for March, our new recipe was, I think, cabbage, a beef cabbage recipe. Now, we don't really eat a lot of beef. The only beef that we really eat is like either, it just depends on the meal, but we're pretty heavy on like seafood, vegetables, and chicken. But we're slowly, uh, it's just weird. The older you get, like your taste buds get really, anyway, that's a whole other subject. But my middle child is the same as me. We are super, super picky on taste and aftertaste. And so that makes us super picky on the meals that we eat. And so like my middle child, he loves ground beef, and then like chicken, but not not all chicken, like chicken breast is better than chicken thighs. And like for me, I used to like chicken thighs, but now I the taste of it doesn't vibe with me anymore. And so I can only eat chicken breast. And and then beef, like I said, is on occasion, and we don't eat pork. We eat like seafood, um, and so and vegetables. And so recently, I've been trying to find a little bit more ground beef recipes that my kids and my husband will like. And so the last 3 months, majority of those new recipes are ground beef recipes. So, but yeah, so that is what I put on here, and then after that, I want to put it in this book. Now, this book is a B7 or not B7, a B6 Slim MD Traveler or not Traveler's Notebook, Traveler's Company notebook. And I just ended up, what I did due to this is I just got a traveler's notebook. Those pamphlets that you get for free when you purchase like their items. I just ended up just cutting it out and pasting it on this book to make it, really pretty. And I added this clear plastic cover and then added a elastic so I have a way to close it. And then this cute Traveler's Company uh, charm. It's a little fish. I am obsessed with fishes. And so this was appropriate for what this book is, which is my tried recipe book. And of course, this all ties into like food and stuff like that. So I thought that it was fitting. Okay, so let's get into this book. And I will kind of give you a little tour. Now, I just have it marked. And now, I could have used any old one because I actually have a couple of B6 notebooks that I could have reused. But for some reason, I got a new one. And the reason why I say that is because I ended up just kind of whiting out the months and the days because it really doesn't matter the way I have this set up. Now, the way I have this set up is when you open this up, you'll notice that I have, this is kind of like my, oh my gosh, I can't think of the word. But this is what I stamp to rate the recipes. And it is actually these cute little stamps right here. Ooh, that I got from, I got from the Pinky Elephant store. It was a set. I think they're sold out, but hopefully they will restock maybe. But I like it because it says good, so, and bad. You can see it. Yep. And this is what I use to rate my recipes. Now, with the recipes, I'll bring this up a little bit closer. As you can see, I colored it in. Good is green, yellow is so, and then obviously red is bad. Now, the good and so recipes will make it into this book, but the bad ones, I'm not going to add because I just don't want to waste that space. So only the good and the so-sos will go in there. And then what I have here is now this is a monthly, it's a monthly daily page or maybe weekly pages, but how it's set up is that you have your monthly pages like so, and then the back pages are line pages like this, and I think it's made for weekly. So that's how it looks, and I think it has a couple of pages in the back which I have for like a food journal. And so what I ended up doing is the first page is like the annual where it has all the calendars on there. And what I ended up doing was that each month, so you have January, so this would be January, February, March, and so forth, completely ignoring it. That's the reason why I whited it out and just using it as, oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank on what these pages are called. But so what I did was like for January, for one, this is for recipes for sweets, bakes, cookies, cakes, and all things that, as you can see. And then for month 2, it's the category of beef. And so I just put a sticker on there to annotate that it is beef. And what it does is it coincides to that monthly page. So like we said, January or month 1 or number 1 is, here we go, is sweets. And then month 2 is beef. Now the first page, so here's that annual. This first page, I just kind of kept it as my layout testing because sometimes I'm trying to figure out how I want to lay out in the actual squares. So I kind of set that aside to do that. So if sometime down the road I want to figure out what's the best layout for the squares, I can try it out on here. So that is what I have. And then the months or the numbered sections begin. And so we only have sweets and beef recipes here. And then my next one, I think I'm going to add 3 as pasta dishes. And so that is what I'm going to do. Now the categories, obviously, I mean, I could do it, but I think what I'm doing, I'm going along the way as the recipes come in, because I don't want to section off a monthly page for a recipe type that I won't have. Like say, for example, pork. Obviously, we don't really eat a lot of pork. And so I might just have a miscellaneous for the one-offs. And so I'm just kind of going as I go, so to maximize using all the space. So for 3, it will definitely be pasta, and we'll set that up. And then what I do is whatever I put the recipe here, it coincides with the end pages. And what I ended up doing was I numbered all the pages. And the reason why I numbered it was to kind of, like I said, I'm going as I go along is when I put everything in, and I don't want to have to reserve a certain amount of pages when I don't know if I'm actually going to need it. And so doing it this way, numbering it this way, helps me kind of obviously use this to the max as far as the pages. Okay, when we go into the monthly, let's say the sweets recipe, this is how I organize the squares. What I do is I stamp what we rate it, and then I put the page number, and then the title, as well as the date that it was tried. And right there. And the reason why, this is a reason why I do the pages, is because then I don't have to worry about having to put it in some kind of order. I can just, like, for example, I put these recipes page 1, 2, and then this is page 3. So obviously we go to those pages, those recipes are there. But if I go to here, and then say I jump into beef, and then I had tried another sweets recipe, I don't have to worry about, okay, where am I going to put it, like putting it, I can just put it in the order of the pages, and then just put where the page that it's going on, if that makes sense. And so that makes it a little bit easier for me to use this book. And so as I make the recipes, or as I input all the recipes that we have. And so that kind of, and then I write the recipes down just so I have a collection of all these recipes in one spot versus everywhere. Now, my favorite way, obviously, to find recipes are, in my phone, because it's digital and all you have to do is type in what you need to find. But there's something about having an actual physical book with all these recipes, I feel is, I don't know, I like it. And I feel like, when that time comes, my kids will have recipe books that they can look through and be reminded of the foods that they ate, because I didn't grow up with that. I don't have one recipe passed down from my family members, unfortunately. my mom passed away, and so I didn't have the interest to even ask her, and I totally regret that, and I wish I had some kind of recipe of hers of how she made, you know, some of my childhood meals. Now, I mean, there's generic ones like because I am Filipino, so there's the generic like chicken adobo, sinigang, and all that stuff that I can look up and make it, through those recipes. But there's nothing like something from your parents or from other family members passed down of how they make it. And so I don't have that. And so this is, I guess, my way of starting that for my kids. Um, even though these are recipes that I found, I always put, my mark on it, trying to fix it to our taste and adding things, taking things away, And so, at the end of the meal or cooking, it's always, even though it started out as a recipe I found, it always ends up being tailored to our family. And so, because of the things that we've changed, throughout the different times we've used it. And so, this is kind of like my gift to my kids to start having, somewhere down the line, oh, uh, my mom, my great great grandmother, this was her recipe. This is how she made beef enchiladas, or this is how she made chicken adobo, and it feels like home. So that is my motivation to continue this project and to continue honing in my skills. And I think having this process allows me to do that for them, because I really, wish I had something like that, or, a passed down index card of a recipe from my great, 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 great grandfather. But I don't have anything like that, unfortunately. So I guess I will be the start, the beginning. So, okay. So that is how I am setting this up for my tried recipe. And like I said, we will go ahead and let's see. So I did print out one of the recipes that we've had. The reason why I printed it out because it's on my phone and I'm using my phone. So whenever, this is how I process it. So obviously we made this, and this we actually made, I think, in January. Yep, we made it in January, and I marked it that it was really good. So we will be using the good stamp. And this is actually a new category. It's going to be, because at first I was going to put under beef category, but I was like, you know what, but this is a macaroni. So I'm going to put it in pasta. So we are going to dedicate number 3 for pasta. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my sticker book, my food sticker book, and find something that represents pasta. Now I hope I have a pasta sticker. I know I had it in the past because I've used it in my daily documenting journaling, and I don't know, I might have used it all up, but let's see if there's anything that represents pasta. Okay, I mean, this could be one. I mean, that looks like spaghetti sauce. Let's see if there's anything else. Now, if this takes a little bit longer, then I will definitely just speed up this process. I do see a couple. I mean, that could look like one. Here's another one. Let's keep going. Okay. Let's go ahead and use that. Here we go. I mean, that's pretty much. And so I'm just going to go ahead and use this sticker. And I'm going to plop it down here. Now, it's not going to cover it, but what I'll probably do, I could probably put another sticker on here, or I can kind of white it out. Let's see. Let's kind of white it out a little bit. to kind of have a little clean look to it. Yes. I mean, yes, I could probably use like a normal blank notebook, but I don't want to draw out these lines. Okay, so here we go. I probably should do, because I was thinking of doing it kind of towards the side, but I'm going to center it. There you go. So that's good. And then I am going to go ahead and just label it pasta so we don't get it twisted. Because I'll look at that and be like, well, what is that? Because I will forget. So I'm just going to just, nothing too fancy. Just going to put pasta. Why does that look weird to me? Do you sometimes look at words, like the easiest words, and you're like, wait, that spelling looks weird. Like the. I look at them like, why does that look weird? So pasta. So I know those are pasta recipes. So the next one is, so we're doing 3. So that's 2. And then that's 3. And so we would probably need to go ahead and decorate that. So this is pasta. So let us use, we'll do green. And I'm just going to go ahead using my brush pen, my trusty brush pen. I have it in this beautiful green, and let's see how I have this. So I just kind of, there's really no, what did I use? I think I used pens. It's okay. It'll be different. That's fine. And then I'm just going to, I've been lately been into doing this, just outlining the lettering. I want to make sure you guys can see. So there you go. Now I know this is the pasta recipe page. And then I could probably adorn it with some pasta looking. I could probably use those. Oh, you know what? Look, tomato. Is that tomato or apples? Oh, those are pumpkins. Either. It's neither. Okay, let's find. So I would probably say, like, with pasta, you would want to eat it with bread some of the time. So let's go ahead and and then you would probably use like a nice big pot. I associate that with pasta, if I can get it. And I think I messed up that corner from trying to pull it. So let's put this right here. And then let's look for that one pasta that we saw earlier, but it was kind of small. Ooh. Let's see, where was it? And I want to use, because I don't know when I'll be able to use tomatoes again. So let's put that over here. And then just one more. I was looking for that one pasta. Let's see. I think, where did it go? My eyes are playing tricks on me again. Here, we'll go with this. There's actually another one there too, so let's put both of those on there. Let's do that. And then there's another plate of pasta. That is cute. Yay! Okay, so we got that decorated. Now we're going to go ahead and fill this up. So we don't need the M there for Monday because this is not a calendar. And then we don't need the days, but luckily these boxes don't have days, so I'll white out the rest later. Okay, so let us go ahead, and we said that we like this one because it was good, so we'll go ahead and stamp the good stamp. I use my Shashihata black ink. Like so, and then we're just going to stamp it that it was good. And then we're going to color that green, which I have a green here. We're just going to go ahead and color that in. Good. That came up really cute. Okay, now we're going to, what else did I put? What page we're going to put it on. So the next page I have here is page 6. So we're going to go ahead and mark that to page 6. Let's put page 6. And then we also had this, going back to my calendar over here, we had it on January 19, 2025. So we're going to put 01/19/25. And then I'm just going to use a different color pen to, nope, let's do, and it is called Homemade Cheeseburger Macaroni. So there we go. Page 6, we've got that logged in the monthly. Now we're going to go ahead and go to page 6 and we're going to write it down. And so what I'm going to go ahead and do, we're going to stamp the date. And then in the corner, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to, just so it's kind of easily identifiable of what, if it was good or bad. And then the title. And it looks like I just used black for the recipe and then used a red for the recipe. So, okay. So first things first, let's go ahead and stamp this again. It's good. And color that in. See, that ink dries pretty fast. As you can see, it has not smeared. Okay, and then we'll put the date, and we said January 19. So I'm going to have to, I use this little mini dater S300 that I found on Amazon. And this was in January, so we're going to have to spin the wheel all the way. Oh my goodness. Spin the wheel. That reminded me. Those who are like my age, whenever you have to like spin the wheel for your date of birth, I feel like it's so rude because it takes forever now. I'm like, seriously? It's crazy. Time is so fast. Okay, January 19, 2025. Let's go ahead and stamp that right. There we go. And let me put that back because that way I don't have to do it again. Let's see, April. There we go, April 0. Okay. Okay, and then let's go ahead and put the, so I'm gonna omit the homemade because I feel like it's a given. And plus it's going to take up too much space. So we're gonna do cheeseburger, macaroni. Or actually no, let's just go ahead and we'll do homemade and then cheeseburger, macaroni. Perfect. And then we use the yellow. Is it yellow? Yep. So we're going to go ahead and put the ingredients here. Put it in red. Ingredients. And then we'll go ahead and list them. And I will use a black pen. Now, we had, and I'll just, instead of doing it like line for line, I'm just going to go this way to save on space. So I know it's 1 pound. Ooh, what? I've messed up already. 1 pound ground beef. And then I just kind of separate it with a little bullet point. 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. 2 teaspoons paprika. Okay, so I'm going to speed through this process, so I will see you on the other side. Okay, so I've got the ingredients down, and I think I'm going to go ahead and underline that. Now let's go ahead and add the steps. So I like to do instructions, and I was supposed to add a little sticker. I didn't. Maybe I could add it on the end. Okay, let's see. Maybe a spoon, something. Here, just do a pan, just so it has something. Okay. And then we're going to do instructions, and so let's go ahead and put that in the middle. Instructions. Okay, and then what I like to do is I like to just number the instructions so it's clear. Okay, so I'll go ahead and do the steps, and I will see you on the other side. Okay, that was a pretty simple and short recipe. So yeah, this is the process. This is how it turned out. And now I have that logged in. And yeah, let's go back to what we had. We have a pasta entry now. We made that. We know number 3 is pasta. 1, 2, 3, pasta. We put it on page 6, which is page 6, and here we are. Super simple process. I love it. I love how this book is turning out. Now, this will last me maybe a couple years because I have, for each category, I have at least how many boxes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14, 24. So yeah, I mean, I have like at least 42 boxes. So that's at least 42 recipes in each category. So, and if I'm averaging about one a month, that's only 12 recipes. So this book will last for quite some time. So I'm excited for this to, you know, be completed. Again, this is the tried recipe. And then any recipes that we do end up liking and it starts to like become like a family recipe that my kids love, it goes into this recipe book. It's called Recipes Passed Down, and it's a beautiful book. It has this linen cover. And so that's like the last stop of this whole process for myself. And then in the back, blank pages is just like a food journal, like any notes that I want to take down, like if I'm cooking and I find out, how to substitute X, Y, and Z, I'll put it in here just so my kids or whoever ends up getting this, they'll have like a handy measurement tool or, just, different things. So that's on there. And they even have this little space where you can probably put a note here and your signature. So I thought that was really cute, like all MD notebooks have. And it says to be continued 2026. Obviously, I'm going to take that out and I will definitely, as I go, start whiting out all the years and stuff like that. But that is pretty much it. I probably will put a title on here, like categories, or I don't know. But yeah, it's a great little book that I have, and I just wanted to show you my process and what I use it for. Do you have something like this? Do you have a tried recipe book? If so, let me know, and let me know how you organize it, because I'm always looking for great ideas. Um, and if it makes my process even more simpler, the better. So I hope you guys like this little glimpse into the process of my little recipe book. I will definitely show you how I menu plan. That'll be on another video. But yeah, that is it. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.